Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this week's Priestess Rise Up. I'm so delighted to be here with you and gather together, right? Gather together to remember your sacred mission, to remember your priestess path, to remember your psychic gifts, the technology of your body, the gifts you have here to share with others. And so I would love to see who's here. If you want to share in the chat, that would be lovely. So, today, we're going to talk about, and we've talked about this before, we've talked about initiations, but we're going to talk about it from the perspective of as we come to the end of the year. So here we are, October 26th. I've crossed the threshold of my birthday. Yay! And whenever you're watching this, because of course I know you might be watching this a year from now. So wherever you're watching it, whenever you're watching it, take the teaching at that time. So in this moment, as we envision 2023, right, this next year that's coming, I was talking about this in my online coaching class today, how your soul is not wasting any time, right? There's a divine curriculum that you created for yourself, right? Initiations, tests, challenges, expansion, so that your leadership could be in integrity, so that you could keep showing up with an open heart and with authenticity. And so I don't know if you've been feeling it, but I know I've been feeling it, right? I've been feeling all the old wounds coming up for healing, right? A lot of it through my career, because, I'm, aside from being a priestess, I'm a spiritual career coach. And so that's part of my medicine to help people really step into leadership in their career. Spiritual leadership, wellness leadership. And so as I've been dealing, or that's not the right word, as I've been present with all of the wounds and vulnerabilities that are coming up, it's been really helpful to have that higher perspective, right? Of like, well, what are the themes? What are the recurring things that are coming up in my life right now? Not to punish me, not because I'm going backwards, not because, I'm just a slow learner. No, because actually, why? Why are you perhaps being triggered with things that are coming up or feeling strong emotion coming up around you? It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because you're doing everything right, because you were that committed to being such a wonderful leader here on earth that you wanted to ensure that you were in integrity. And so that as the year comes to an end, it's like final exams, right? It's like, okay, what is left to clear? And I'm not saying that there's a destination that come the end of the year, that's it, you'll be all healed and there'll be nothing left. That's not going to happen. That's like ongoing. Hey, Heather, so glad you're here. We're ongoing, we're in an ongoing mystery school, right? Before, in other lifetimes, perhaps we were in mystery schools that were in a temple, right, in an ashram. Most of us in this modern time, we're in the mystery school of life, right? Life provides the curriculum. School is always in session. So the card that I pulled today from the one was from the Archangel Michael deck by Radley Valentine. I don't have the box here. It says, trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. So look at this beautiful image. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. And what's interesting, I pulled also a second card from the Priestess, right? The Priestess of Light Oracle, and I got Harvest, Gathering of Blessings. So both of these are so perfect. Hi, Destiny. Right? That it's like they are so connected, because as we take the courageous journey of looking at the themes of what's coming up for us in these last months of the year, not with judgment, not even with a agenda of fixing it, but with compassion, with that divine presencing, right? Bearing sacred witness to what is coming up. So I recently shared on my birthday on Instagram, you might have seen it, a post, right? I was sharing something that came up with my inner teenager. And if you've been following my work, you know that I do that's my training. My training in psychotherapy was all about parts, the different parts that live inside of us. They're not all children parts, they're also adult parts. But in this moment, I'm specifically talking about our inner teenager. And so my inner 16-year-old has been really present lately. And she has a lot of blessings for me, right? There's a lot of gifts that our inner teenager brings. There's also, however, in order to get the blessings, we have to purify and detox from any wounding or trauma. And so I've been on a healing journey for many, 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 many years. And I've certainly done a lot of healing with my inner 16-year-old. And yet, here around my birthday, she showed up again. Right? There was another level of healing that she was ready for. And so my job as the adult me was to slow down enough to create that space to connect with her, right? To really listen, because that's what it's about. It's not about, oh, there's my 16-year-old. Okay, I love you. Fine. You know, it's really just like with a 16-year-old that would be sitting in front of you who has a wound, who has perhaps even trauma, or is just not feeling good. If you've ever been with teenagers, and let me tell you, I have 5 children. They're all young adults now. So I've mothered 5 teenagers, right, through all those years. I was a 7th grade teacher for almost 10 years. So I've taught, my life was filled with teenagers. And it makes sense that I was drawn to that age group because those were such tumultuous, painful years for me. And so, you know, and I'll show you a picture of my 16-year-old. If you didn't see the Instagram post, look at this picture that I found. I mostly tore up all my pictures of me as a teenager. Not now, I wouldn't do that now, but I did that as a young adult because that's how painful my teenage years were. And I couldn't stand seeing them. So I hardly took pictures during that time. But the ones that I found, I tore up. And I have a part that's so sad about that because I wish I had more pictures. So when I found this one, I was like, oh, it's so great. So there I was in Mexico wearing this beautiful dress that my uncle had bought me in Oaxaca. And so when I see that picture, you know, I was just connecting to her. I could feel that how at that age I was really struggling with being in my power. And I think that's in some ways typical for a teenager, right? You're finding that place. But I had also experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of wounding. You know, 3 short years later after this, I was going to become a mom for the first time. And so, you know, like I look at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was a baby. I knew that, of course, because I lived it. But when I connected with my 16-year-old, first I had to really have her see me now, right? See me here now, see all the healing I've done, see my children grown up, see all of that. And then I had to see her, right? And hear her sadness, her grief that she still had, that she still felt somewhat stunted. Like, you know, my teenagers never got to have that cycle of independence, right? Because well, so much was going on in my life. And then I got married and I had children. And it's like I went from child to mom, right? And so as I welcome her into my life, into this year of my life, because she's very present with me, I'm aware of how she's connected to my leadership. So this is the thing why I'm bringing this up. all the teachings I do, right, about the priestess path, about being a channel of unconditional love for the world, about sharing your unique medicine, unique gifts, all of you have those. That's not separate from the children that live within us, all the ages. Right now, I'm talking in particular about our inner teenager. If you look at leaders outside, external leaders that have abused, oppressed, taken advantage, using their power to take advantage, it all stems from wounds within. And so doing this work, having the courage as we come to the end of the year to open up and say, okay, yes, soul, I'm open to the divine curriculum. I'm open to the great mystery here of what it is I'm being called to heal at this time, is not just for you. In fact, more than anything, you do this for the world. You do this for your leadership. Because as I do this, as I connected with her, as I, allowed myself to grieve, allowed her to cry, allowed myself to cry, not in an indulgent way, but in a very honoring way, what happened inside of me, even though I've done, really years and years and years of healing, inner healing, with professionals, with therapists, with energy workers, with everything that I could find that I was drawn to for healing. Here was another layer that came up. And so as I do that, what happens? My heart opens, my channel widens, and I can receive more blessings. Not because I'm getting rewarded, but because those burdens, those wounds, those parts of us that are stuck. And this particular wound with my 16-year-old, this one's very much about her body, being comfortable in her body, being comfortable in her blossoming body as she's stepping into, like young womanhood. And so as I do this healing, instead of resisting it or instead of beating myself up for needing it, instead of any of that, but really open myself up for that healing, I become a wider channel for love to flow through me to others. I am able to be in that much more of integrity when I teach my classes, when I'm with my clients and students who are in pain, when I do these YouTube lives, YouTube, Facebook lives, even though I'm not seeing you, even though many of you I don't even know, I can be more present to whatever is coming up for you, because we're still, even though we're not physically together, energy flows. I can tune into the energy of the group, right? I can tune into the parts of you that might be being stirred up as you listen to this, your inner teens. And I'm not running away from that. I'm not like, ooh, uncomfortable. No, I don't want to trigger people. And that's not my goal. My goal isn't to trigger anyone. At the same time, I'm here in authenticity, naming all of this and honoring whatever might come up for you. I'm not tiptoeing around it. And I can only do that because of this work. And so this trust in divine purpose card, right, where it says, this experience has divine meaning, healing will come, know that you're on a path of growth. That's such validation for that, right? And then followed by harvest, gather the blessings. So my invitation to you is really we're going to do a short meditation when we come to the end of this. Is for you to ask the question, right, of your soul, of your higher self. What are the themes? What initiations are left for me this year? What are you still wanting me to look at? And sometimes we're afraid to ask those questions because it's almost like, oh, I don't want to ask because I don't want it to get worse. And that's not how it works, right? It's like your soul loves you unconditionally. It actually facilitates everything. It creates more flow, more efficiency, more gentleness. Well, my screen just went black. Okay, I hope you can still see me. More gentleness when we allow this to be normal, when we don't hide from it, when we actually ask, soul, show me. So I know one of my themes coming to the end of the year is that, right? Stepping into even a deeper level of comfort in my body, of showing my body, of, like, yeah, just any place where I'm still holding lack of power in my body. Okay, thank you, Macy. Thank you. That's one. There's many others, right? I'm definitely getting initiated in discernment, like very pristine discernment. And specifically for me, I'm going to name this in case some of these resonate with you, is making decisions from my heart. So I've had to, in the last several weeks, there's been several situations where I'm faced with a decision. This is mostly all career related. And my logical mind is like, no, 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 this doesn't make sense because of this and this and this and this. It's very rational because that's what the mind does. But my heart is yes, yes, yes. And I'm not talking about my heart like the emotional heart. I'm talking about my wise heart. And so there's been all of these initiations for me, right? These tests, like final exams of like, okay, taking the leap, right? Taking the step because my heart hasn't led me astray. My intellect, my rational mind has done that many times, right? So it's like, so really being able to say yes when my logical mind's trying to talk me out of it. And I'm not talking about being reckless, but that is something I've been training in for years. And so a lot of that has been coming up. So what has been coming up for you, right? What are the things, particularly as we enter eclipse season, right? As we enter a Mars retrograde this coming weekend, the planetary systems around us, they're supporting us. I know sometimes it might not feel that way, but they're supporting us in getting this healing. So there's a lot in the energy around us and the collective to make this more magnified. Why is that? Again, it's not to punish us, but it's so we won't miss it. So we will have, yeah, so we can't buffer our way out of it. Oh, I'm just going to watch TV, or I'm just going to overwork, or I'm just going to go help a whole bunch of people and not go inside. Like, the universe is really conspiring us for us to heal, for the planet to ascend. So it's going to, if we try to resist it, it's going to make it so uncomfortable that we have no choice but to finally ask, like, okay, what is it? What is this initiation? What is this that's coming up for healing for me? What is it? What is that inside of me that needs healing? And so if you're here watching this live or the recording, you're here on that courageous path of literally living that way always, right? And that doesn't mean you're suffering always. In fact, there's so much joy to be had in this journey. But it is that, we're committing, right? We're committing to doing the work over and over and over and over and over. That's what being a priestess, that's what being an earth angel, a light worker, a beacon of light, a wisdom keeper, whatever you want to call it, a coach, a medicine woman, medicine man, that's what it's about. That's first and foremost what it's about. Then all the stuff, all the glamorous stuff that draws people's attention, can you access past lives? Can you see my aura? Can you, hear messages? Can you connect with spirit guides? All the kind of like, things that people can get really actually sidetracked with. I'm not saying those things are not important. They are. But those are byproducts of the inner work that you do. So as you commit to this, then your soul knows what gifts will help you. So for me, connecting with past lives, connecting with people's past lives, I had no desire. I mean, it wasn't something I thought about. And yet that's something that came really strongly to me. So because my soul knew that was a gift that was going to help not only me, but it was going to help me help my clients. Because many people drawn to the priestess path have a whole lot of trauma from past lives, where they were persecuted or killed or judged or shamed or shunned or all that stuff. So that I didn't seek it out in the sense of like, let me connect with past lives because that's so cool. It was like, that was awakened inside of me because that would be helpful for my journey, for my ministry, for my medicine. Same thing for you, whatever that is. And so let's go ahead and go within. Thank you, Destiny. Yes, yeah, that is a very powerful, just to tap into past lives a little bit more. Just, the important thing is that, past life work is also one of those things, could be a whole distraction. And so it has to be done with such integrity, like that we heal past life issues that are actually going to help our life now, that it doesn't become, this kind of distraction, because it can. The ego can turn everything into a distraction. So Destiny, as you say, past life issues are coming up for you now. I totally understand that. I mean, there's always an element of past life issues. As I work with my inner teenager, it's interesting to me that she's wearing, that dress, right? Again, that I got in Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca is a state in Mexico. As I've been doing a lot of connection with my indigenous ancestors, right? From Mexico. So it's interesting. She's wearing that. I feel like, yes, she's my 16-year-old from this lifetime, but it's also my priestess lineage that I feel very connected with, especially the Mayan. And so I just offer that not just to Destiny, but everybody listening. And, when we step into ceremony right now, we can ask that question too, if there is a past life that is coming up for healing for you, that be revealed in a way that is helpful for you. I do have a session on my website. It's called the Priestess mentoring session or something like that, where I do that type of work if that's something you want to explore. And I do have a coupon code. I literally just updated that on my website, so I haven't even announced it anywhere. I'm just announcing it now. There is a coupon code for that if you're on my newsletter. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me. Hello, Zoe. So good to see you here. And so let's go ahead, and the reason I'm slowing down is it's so interesting. I'm getting a really strong message to pull a card for those of you who are here live right now. And I wasn't planning on that. So I have a part that, not that doesn't want to do it, but I have see, that's my initiation, right? My logical mind is like, no, if you do that, that's going to take too much time. It's going to be too long. But my heart is like, this is what you're supposed to do. So as I was saying before, when you're noticing what are the initiations coming up for you, this is such a strong one for me. So thank you, Zoe. Yes. So let's go ahead and do that. And you know what? I'm feeling like this is because we've been talking about past lives, that this is going to be a card about your past lives. So if you would like me to do that, because I am not going to do that, if you please, I'm just going to trust technology. You can just put on the chat, yes, and then I will know that you are okay with me doing that. Destiny, I already see that you said, oh, yay, yes. So I'm guessing it's for this. So I'm going to do that. So let's just tune in together, everyone. Priestess is here live. Priestess is here on the replay. And even if you're watching the replay and I'm not pulling a card for you, know that the messages that are pulled today are for you. Trust your heart. The universe is so wise. It can multitask like that. And so let's just gather together and pray from our heart that your soul, so this isn't a message coming from me. This isn't a message coming from the deck, really. The deck is a way for your soul to speak to you. So my heart's prayer is that your soul speak to you through these cards. It's specifically about any past life healing, past life gift that is coming into the forefront during this time, right? As we come to these last 2 months of the year, right? So I'm going to do that. And, it's very hard for me to shuffle with my mala beads because they keep getting stuck. So I'm going to wear it as a bracelet. They get stuck in the card. So let's do that. So, all right, Destiny had said yes. That's okay. And I really would take a long time if I sit and channel a message. So I'm going to show you the picture. Okay, what is the message for Destiny? innovation, new creations. Look at this, Destiny. I mean, I can't get the light just goes there, but it looks like a spotlight. Look at the priestess. Look at that image. Take it in. I don't know if you can tell, but she's got like hawks coming out of her hands. Look at that pose and receive that message from your soul. Zoe, let's, because I'm shuffling, I'm putting the cards back in, so it's a full deck. Courage, strength, fierceness, family. Look at that card. Look at the crown of the lion mane. And so really take that in, Zoe. Just really take that image in. That message from your soul. Trust what is coming to you. Macy, let's pull for you. Macy, divine mother, nurturing compassion, grace. Look at this. This is like the Mother Mary card in this deck. Really take that in. Let yourself receive that. Claire, so glad you're here. Beautiful Claire. And I love our global community. Zoe's joining us from Ireland. Claire's joining us from the UK. I know some of you are joining from Chicago and from other places. So, Claire. It's back, Claire. Innovation, new creation, same thing. Look at that image. Really take it in. Just receive that blessing. Those hawks. So both you and Destiny might want to look up hawk medicine. And then we have Heather. Heather and Lynn. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love doing that. One reason I love doing this is that there's cards I've never seen. And Heather, this is one of them. Portal, infinite mind, awakening consciousness. Look at this card. Take that in. See where your eyes are drawn. Feel that beautiful opening at your crown. Lynn. All right, beautiful Lynn. This is another card I've never seen. River of Blessings. Releasing constraints. Receive that. Releasing constraints. I don't know if you can see the cat behind her. And then it's like she's holding this chalice. Releasing constraints. There you go, Lynn. And Catherine. All right, I think that's all right. Beautiful, Catherine. Second repeated card, courage, strength, fierceness, family. This is the card that Zoe got as well. This. Take that in. Receive it. Receive it. Receive it. Receive it. And I just feel like we're all receiving all of the medicine here. Roxana. Okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, I've also never seen this card. Oh my gosh. Guide, the illuminated path. Roxana, look at this card. Look at the wolf right there. That's one of my spirit animals for this year. For this, you know, my birthday just passed for the year coming up. But look at that. Guide. So gorgeous. Take that in. All right, so let's just tune in very quickly into our heart. So priestesses, let's gather together in a circle. Everyone here live, everyone listening to the replay, please know that those messages are for you as well. See which one calls to your heart. And we started this with the inner teenager. So I invite you to, in your heart, welcome your inner teen. Maybe she's 15 or 14 or 13 or 16 or 17 or 18 or 19. Just welcome her. That teenage priestess that perhaps didn't feel like a priestess at that time. But welcome her. And let's bring our hands to our heart. And we welcome your inner teenager from this lifetime and from other lifetimes, knowing that she has both a healing and she has a blessing for you as well. So let's all of us open our heart and receive the healing for our inner teen. And I just see that our inner teenagers just, releasing, right? Releasing whatever needs to be released. Perhaps standing a little straighter. And as that happens, there's no effort, as then the gift comes, right? What is this teenager within you gifting you? And just feel that in your heart. You don't need to consciously know what it is yet. Just set the intention. Yes, thank you. I accept. I receive. As one of my teachers teaches us, right? So yes, thank you. I accept. I receive. Receive this blessing here for you. Whew. And we bring the palms of our hands together. We bow to each other and our own heart. And we close this ceremony with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. And so it is. Such an honor to be here with all of you and your inner teens. I do want to share with you that I have a whole free series, a novena on the inner teen on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link on the description in case you feel like you want to do more work. It's a free series. I think it's 9 or 7 videos. It's amazing. So if you're feeling called to do that work, I highly encourage you to do that. And you don't even have to do it in order. You could, or you might just shuffle and be like, okay, which one is calling to me? I have a lot of teachings, but also inner journeys to help your teenager unburden. I also want to remind you, tomorrow is the Planetary Healing with Mother Mary class. So I'm so excited. She is amazing. If you haven't connected with Mother Mary, she's not just this kind of, yes, she's gentle, but she is fierce and powerful. And she's our mentor. She's the mentor of the priestesses, right? She's here to really help us connect with the energy body of the earth for our own healing and for us to raise the vibration of Mother Earth. So if you're interested in that, I would love for you to join me tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. And there is a replay, so if you can't attend live, you can get the replay. I'll put that link in the description too. You can find it on my website. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you, everyone. And yes, just to remind you, Zoe and I will be doing a Priestess transmission live together. She'll be in Ireland. I'll be here in Chicago. I'll be bringing in Our Lady of Guadalupe. She's going to be bringing in Goddess Bridget. And we're going to talk about an amazing duo of, both of us, but also of Guadalupe and Bridget, to protect your priestess path. That's what they wanted to bring in, like that divine protection, so that you are fearless as you go where you're being called to go. So, all right. Bye, everyone. Talk to you soon.